There is no greater pillar of stability than a strong, free, and educated woman. Angelina Jolie. Welcome. This is Interaction with People's Mother. There have been times, especially during those dark days of previous decades, where women were seen only as important by how well they could manage the home. And even for this, we rarely had the credit we deserved. Women were abused and seen as nothing more than creatures that were to be subservient to men their entire lives. Thank God this is changing. When it comes to empowering women, ensuring that women are developed, nothing comes close to our indigenous president, Dankwah Akuffo-Addo. Through him and the properly implemented free senior high school policy, over 1.2 million students who in turn would have had no shot at senior high school education, who could have ended up on the streets with sad stories of shattered dreams and ambitions, left behind, caged in their imaginations, today are in the classroom and have a fair chance at whatever opportunities children like them the world all over have access to. The most interesting aspect of this is that nearly half of those 1.2 million students are females. They will no longer be thought of as only good for the kitchen in an economically disadvantaged home, being given preference to a boy child over a girl child by their parents. Through the free senior high school policy, education is no longer a privilege that is reserved for the selected few whose parents and family can afford to pay fees. Now everyone from Boko to Axim, from Ho to Takrade, can hope for a brighter future. This singular policy of this government has done more for women. We cannot thank this government, Dankwah Akuffo-Addo, enough. Of course, it is no wonder His Excellency was awarded by the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa through the AU as the gender champion in 2017. Everything Dankwah Akuffo-Addo has done through his service is aimed at empowering women and bringing out the best in women. This is an interesting question. It weighs down on me heavily. It is a question whose answer terrifies me because all around us we see young girls whose lives have been taking the road downhill. Their parents could not afford to send them to school to continue their education, usually after junior high school. But due to the implementation of the free senior high school by the able-led Dankwah Akuffo-Addo's administration, over 566,000 young ladies have been enrolled in our secondary schools, representing a colossal 47.9% of young girls covered by the free SHS. We clearly see how the hopes of these brilliant young ones would have been dashed if not for free senior high school policy. Usually they end up getting pregnant, entering into early marriages, while their colleagues spend time in classrooms innovating, doing brilliant things with their lives. This is why free SHS is so important and must be maintained at all costs. Wow, this is interesting. The free senior high school policy was the brainchild of the visionary Dankwah Akuffo-Addo. It meant so much to him that it was no surprise he committed himself to it the very first year in office as president. It must be saved from politicians who bastardized the idea, said it was not possible to implement, only to turn around for the sake of political expediency to say they would make it better. How would they make it better when they do not even understand it? A bird in hand has always been worse than two in the bush. We owe it to ourselves as patriotic citizens to ensure that unprincipled politicians whose records we have seen before to hoodwink us into thinking that this great policy is not being implemented well. That is why each and every single one of us, especially all who care about the continuity of this program and not want to see a shambolic running of our educational system, need to come around and do our part to retain this government to continue its good work. Let us leave our comfort zones. Let us propagate the works of this government. Let us go into homes, speak to everyone, and let us remind ourselves that we have a role to play in keeping this government in office. Hashtag for more for Nana, and it must happen. To our mothers and young ladies, when you go to the polls on December 7th, remember you are not just voting for yourselves, you are voting for the many young ladies who are enjoying the free SHS policy. And if we have to continue with the policy, we have to re-elect the MPP into government. Thanks for joining me for this interesting maiden edition of Interaction with People's Mother. Stay tuned. We will come to you once again with another interesting episode and continue to showcase the superior record of Nana Dankwah and Akuffo-Addo. Thank you and God bless you.